Hatra, Iraq.
Hatra was a religious trade center of the Parthian Empire. It was built under the Seleucid kingdom in the 3rd or 2nd century and rose to prominence as the capital of Arabia. Arabia was a small semi-autonomous state under the Parthian influence. Hatra later became a house of God. Archaeologists found Hatra to be the best preserved example of a Parthian city. It is encircled by inner and outer walls, nearly 4 miles in circumference, and is supported by nearly 160 towers, as you can see in this picture. A temenus, which is a structure to enclose the temple, surrounds the sacred buildings in the city's center. These great temples in the ancient city cover about 3 acres of Hatra alone, and were enormous structures with vaults and columns that once rose to 100 feet. Hatra was significant because it was positioned along caravan trade routes. Because of this position, it became an important religious center.
When it came to defending the city, Hatra was able to turn back many attacks, which included sieges by Roman forces. One of them occurred from 116 to 117 and was led by Roman Emperor Trajan, and the other was from 198 to 199 and was led by Roman Emperor Septimus Severus. Unfortunately, the city fell after being destroyed in 240 while the city was in a battle with Shapur I. Shapur I was the ruler of the Persian Sassanid dynasty. German archaeologists studied Hatra between 1907 and 1911, and important Iraqi investigations were taken in the mid-20th century. Hatra later became a UNESCO World Heritage Site in 1985. However, in 2003, Hatra suffered invasions from the Anglo-American peoples. Although the city didn't make any significant damage, a number of artifacts went missing when the National Museum of Iraq was plundered in the chaos that followed the invasion.
After the unfortunate fall of Hatra, it became ruled by an Arabian prince dynasty, and they called it the House of God, because the dynasty honored many gods and Hatra had many temples. Although the city didn't continue to have a role in the region after it fell in 240 CE, it did, however, play an important role culturally in the fact that it is the best preserved Parthian city.
All right, now we're going to watch a video of the construction of Hatra. All right.
Currently today, Hatra is an Islamic state and is currently occupied by ISIS, which is a terrorist organization. ISIS holds a third of Iraq, along with Syria, in its self-declared caliphate. The extremist group has been destroying the ancient relics they say promote idolatry that violates their fundamentalist interpretation of Islamic law. ISIS emerged in 2004 and almost fell to American troops in Iraq in 2007. They then re-emerged in 2011 and took advantage of the instability in Syria and Iraq, creating a self-proclaimed caliphate in both states. They started performing acts of terrorism in an attempt to expand the caliphate. ISIS was successful until the U.S. started helping opposing groups by giving them weaponry and constantly bombing ISIS territories. By 2018, ISIS had lost 95% of its territory due to the U.S.'s help.
The ISIS militants declared they destroyed the site because it quote unquote worshipped instead of God. The UNESCO World Heritage Site added Hatra to the World Heritage Endangered List in 2015, making it a protected site. To make sure it stays protected, there have been small amounts of troops placed around the city. The UNESCO has also been trying to advertise it and make it known, as well as make people aware of the historical significance of the site to ensure the safety of the city against violent attacks. Some Iraqis think the UNESCO should be using more force against the people causing destruction to the city.
ISIS smashed statues and decorations and also bulldozed part of Hatra. They used sledgehammers and power tools to execute these tasks. Militants were also shooting assault rifles at priceless statues. Still today, illegal activities occur in Hatra, including looting and destruction of priceless objects, and it continues to get worse. 2014 to 2017 was the worst time of destruction, and unfortunately, it hasn't stopped.
Although Hatra was an important religious trade center in the Parthian capital, it did not have a lot of cultural significance. After the fall of Hatra in 240 CE, there wasn't a very large impact on surrounding cities as well as the rest of the society, besides that is a well-preserved ancient city in danger of becoming destroyed because of the ISIS attacks.
Thank you.